Man, oh man, oh man. This episode. Okay, first off, let me apologize yet again for being late on my Erased review and also for the lack of content on my channel lately. This job I have is very tiring. I love it. It's the best job I've had. It's like super fun, but I literally work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. So I sleep like 6 or 8 and then I work 10. So that leaves me with just, a few hours to do what I have to do. And in my spare time, I've been trying to catch up with a few other things you guys have suggested, like Gintama and a few other things. That's going to be a surprise later on. So those few hours that I have to, chill out, I just haven't been feeling, sitting down, recording, editing, and all that stuff. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just telling you what's real. I have very little time to work on now. But after I'm done catching up with everything and, other stuff that I'm doing that's, like I said, a surprise, then I'll be back to my normal routine. I won't make videos after a certain time because I'll be at work, but I'll start uploading every day again in that little time I do have. But just bear with me, guys. I apologize. A lot of people have been asking, JB, as much as you love Erased, where's your episode 12 review? I watched it yesterday, I watched it the day before when it came out, and I watched it today, and it was epic every single time. And like I said, I apologize for being late on so many videos. I have a lot to make up. But anyway, let's talk about this motherfucking episode. Now, first off, I will say that this is different from the manga. I have not read the manga in depth. I've kind of skimmed through it after I watched this episode on Thursday. And I can say that it kind of goes into Yoshido's past and why he's like this a little bit better than the anime. I mean, I understand it was only 12 episodes. They had to kind of skim through it. But a friend of mine put it perfectly. The anime makes it seem like he's a mwahaha, like an evil, like crazy ass villain. But in the manga, it actually explains why he's like this, his psychological issues and all that stuff. Now, like I said, I haven't read in depth. I don't know everything about it, but I can say that it goes in depth a little bit better in Yoshido's mental state. But this episode was fucking amazing. It gives me chills every time I watch it. I watched it a total of 3 times, I believe, 3 or 4, and I got chills every single time. Oh my god. That ending with Idy just hurt my heart. I was wondering where she was the entire episode. I'm like, is she just out of the picture now? But I think it's safe to say that they're going to hook up at the end since he couldn't hook up with Kaio. And just seeing my boy Satoru being a fucking famous author. He's the next Kishimoto. He has an anime coming up and everything. And I'm just happy it was a happy ending. And that scene on the roof with Yoshido, man, when he was scooting around in the wheelchair and you saw the spider's string on his head for a split second, the symbolism there is off the chain. And just seeing Yoshido taking care of Satoru and kind of looking over him as a father figure, and like he has a very twisted way of showing love. Like you can tell he cares about Satoru. Like he said, he can't live without him. But at one point when he, let him fall off the roof, he wanted him to die. I don't know what's going on with this guy's head. Like I said, I think I'm going to read the manga so I can understand a little bit more about this guy. Because right now he just seems fucking crazy. He just seems like a psycho. But I will say that that wink that Satoru gave, like, yeah, I got you, bitch. And even Yoshido was like, oh man, this motherfucker down here. Like, you could tell that laugh, and when he looked at himself in a reflection at his younger self, he was proud of Satoru. He was proud that he lived up to knowing his future, because at one point, like during the 15 years, he was like, what did this guy mean by this? How does he know my future? How did he foil my plans, etc., etc.? And then at one point on the roof, he was like, man, you're just bullshitting. You don't know my future. You were just all talk. And then that laugh and smile he gave after he saw Satoru safe, I think that's when everything clicked in his head. And I love how Satoru is talking to him like, he's admitting everything. Like, you killed my mom in the future, you killed my friends, but during this timeline right now, I bear no hatred towards you because I stopped all that. I stopped all your shit. Satoru is so fucking gangster. Satoru's mom is still the best mom in anime. And man, alright, give me a second, guys. There's a lot to talk about in this episode, and I don't know what's going to happen of Yoshido because he's being arrested for just attempted murder. I don't know how many years he's going to get, but I mean, I can see him coming out and still being alive. I don't think he's going to be locked up for life for attempted murder, because that happens over here in the US a lot, and you only get like, I forgot how many, but it's not like a life sentence or anything. I don't know how things are in Japan, but who's to say he's not going to come out when Sotoru has his own kids and try to, you know, start some shit then. But there's one thing I wanted to talk about more than anything, and that's fucking Kenya. Kenya, well, I wouldn't say more than anything, but it's something I really want to talk about. Kenya already knew his friend had his memory back without him even saying anything. His mom did too, sure, but I mean, that's, you know, motherly instinct, intuition, whatever. But the fact that Kenya is still so damn smart and intelligent after all of these years, he's probably Einstein level now or some shit, just like, hey, if you're gonna fight alone, just take us with you. And that plan that they had, oh my god. This episode is fucking amazing. And the fact that Sotoru said that revival hasn't happened to him since then. I think every single revival that he's had up until, you know, the main one of the anime, I think that was just preparing him for this big revival. So when he goes back, he's like, what the fuck is this? Am I dreaming or something? I think every single revival of him going back a few minutes to help someone was preparation, like a preparation from a bigger person, God, or, you know, whoever you believe in, to prepare him for this, to save his mom, to save all those kids. Sotoru was entrusted with this gift from someone, and it was for a bigger purpose than just going back a few minutes to save people and, you know, correct some small stuff. And, you know, not saying everything was small stuff, because that scene at the very first episode, I believe, when that kid was about to get hit by a truck, that's big, you know, that's fucking hero shit. But like I said, I think all of that, every single revival was preparation to save his mom, to save his classmates, and ultimately build himself a better future, which he has now obtained. And I think that whomever gave him this power, God or whoever, like I said, I don't know if they explain this in the manga, but I kind of like this mystery aspect. I think his reward was that butterfly at the end, the very end of this episode, and him just looking at Adi through the you know, through his hands where the butterfly led him. I think that kind of led him towards his soulmate in a way. That was his reward for, you know, doing a good job. I don't know what the fuck, but the whole revival thing is still a mystery. But like I said, every single one was just, you know, practice for the big one, the biggest one, when he went back all those years and pretty much played God, because he went back and saved people who died more than once, because I think Kaio died twice or something like that. His mom died, you know, his other friends died, and now they're all living, you know, happily ever after. Everyone's happy. Oh man, this anime is just so emotional. This entire episode, I had chills. It wasn't just during a few parts, the entire episode. And I'm not going to lie, the first time I watched it, when Yoshido dropped Sotoru, I was like, man, is he really dead? Is this like some Kami got killed shit where the main character dies? But as soon as I saw him safe, I was like, yes, I was so happy. I was so fucking happy. But so much could have went wrong with that plan when you think about it, because even though he landed safely, who's to say that, you know, he didn't flip? Because at that time, I'm assuming his muscles weren't all the way 100. So what if the wheelchair had a fell on him or bonked him in the head or some shit like that? I mean, I know he had all those people down there, you know, ready to catch him and help him or whatever, but I mean, a wheelchair falling from that height, there's not much you can do. Even if you try to bat it out the way, it's still going to hurt or cut or maybe even break something. So, I mean, I'm glad the plan worked, but I can see a million ways where it could have went wrong. Like, who's to say Yoshido wouldn't have, you know, tossed him off of a different side, even though it was Sotoru's plan to go to that, you know, specific edge anyway, because he knew what was down there. Who's to say that Yoshido wouldn't have pulled him up, you know, gave him a hug, started crying, and then, you know, tossed him off a few feet to the right or left or something like that. You know, I just think about stuff like that. It could have went wrong in so many ways, but I'm glad it didn't. I'm so happy it didn't. It was so clever, and you could tell it was really a last minute thing, because I think the meeting with Kenya and Hiromi and what he talked to his mom about was just like a day, maybe a few hours before he was actually brought to the roof. So Toru is extremely clever. I enjoy at the end when he became this manga artist, how he walked through all of the places that he's taken us through the anime. He took us to Yuki and his new family, which is awesome. I'm glad to see he's not in jail anymore. He took us through the school, that area where the kids were playing with the snow that he saw them playing in, and it was just an amazing ending. And him reading his story when he was in school, talking about the difference between good buddies and, you know, casual friends, I think he called them, was heartwarming. How he said he didn't have them, and then it showed how he started off alone up until like where he is now, how he got where he is because of his friends. Just like his favorite anime back in the day with that hero, I forgot, was like Strike Man, or I forgot what it was called, but it was epic. It was really awesome to see, man. I can't give this anime enough praise. I'm actually going to go back and watch the entire season again. I rarely do that, not like all episodes. I think the only other anime I did that to was Attack on Titan and One Punch Man. I could be wrong, but those are the only anime that after I was done, I immediately went back and watched the full season again. So that says a lot. This anime has officially moved to the top, or not the very, very top, but it's up there, like top 5 material, because the ride, the mystery, and just the ending after we knew not Sotoru, but Yoshido was the killer. It still gave us twists and turns, and just the symbolism is like a very, very deep anime. You have to have a certain mentality to be able to enjoy this to its fullest, and that's what I enjoy about it. And also the speech about, you know, I think Sotoru said something like, if you say I believe you, that's like saying I believe in air, or I breathe, or something like that. Like, you don't have to say it. It's more of an action than, you know, saying, you know, okay, I believe you. You have to actually believe. And at the end, when he saw Heidi and the face he made, oh man, he started tearing up and said, I never stopped believing. That right there, that put the cherry on the motherfucking top of the milkshake. That quote right there, that cut to black, that ending, seeing Heidi's hair come out of that hat all sparkly and shit, the blue butterfly, everything about that ending was fucking magnificent. I cannot give this anime enough praise. I don't know what else you guys want me to say. I'm about to get the fuck out of here. I just know that it's going to take a big, like humongous anime to top this. Even though we might get Tokyo Ghoul season 3, you know, the Natsu no Taizai season 2. A lot of big anime are coming out this year, but I don't think anything is going to reach this level of deep, if you know what I mean, of this anime. I don't think anything else is going to come out this year, in my opinion. There might, you know, you never know. This one surprised me, another one may as well, but just the level of mystery and like making you want to watch the next episode, like right then and there, the cliffhangers, the no previews. I don't think anything's going to top this anytime soon. But tell me what you guys think. You know, who knows? Maybe you guys know of an anime that's going to come out that I don't. But anyway, this has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.